Hey guys, welcome back to another edition of Big Bull Technology. Today, going through all our metalwork tools. So having a look at the types of tools that you'll be using to make your bag tags and a few other projects here at St. Columbus. So I'm going to go straight into it. We're going to talk about each tool, some safety tips, how you should use it and their names, just so you've got a bit of information before you head into the classroom. So I've got many different files for all the different types of techniques that you need to do and the things that you need to get your project right. So we have a square file here, we've got triangle, we've got a full round, half round, and we've also got our rectangle or flat here. Now with each of these files, we have the first cut, second cut, depending on what that is. Now they're all labelled. We've labelled them here down the bottom near the handle, 3, 2 and a 1. Now obviously when you use a number 1, that's the first one you use. It's really coarse. It leaves a coarse finish on your material, but it will get away most of the material for you. Then second, won't get as much material away, but it will still make it nice and smooth. But this, the number 3, that's the third one you use, which will then get it nice and smooth. It won't take as much off, but it'll get it nice and smooth. One of the things you need to do when you get your file, you need to make sure that the handle is nice and firm. Okay, it's not going to come off because underneath there's a little spike under there. If that comes off, it can dig into your hand. Now whenever you're using it, hand on the top there, hand, and you slide it forward. You don't drag it backwards, you lift off, and you keep just moving forwards with that. So these files come in different sizes and different finishes, and then we have these ones. These ones are getting into, we've got some triangular ones here, and we've also got some round ones. Now these are quite sharp on the end, so please be really careful with that, don't be silly. They leave a very smooth finish. Now they can get right into those little corners that you need to get into. Okay, you don't put a lot of pressure on these because they can break quite easily. So a little bit of pressure and use that nice and smooth. Alright, the next important ones that we have are all our marking out tools. Now these are very accurate tools. With metalwork you need to be very accurate. As I say all the time, a millimetre is actually quite a lot. Okay, and that's why most of these materials, they need to be quite accurate so that we can file and machine down to those marks beautifully. So these ones are all our marking out tools. You know our rule. The rule is very important, making sure you've got to get those measurements 100%. An engineer's square, okay, an engineer's tri-square, it's just like the ones in woodwork, only it is fully metal, okay, and they are very, very accurate. The next thing we have is a scribe. Now you'll get to use these a fair bit. Now you need to be very careful with these. They are sharp on both ends. So please, when you're using these, make sure no one's mucking around where you are, making sure that you are sensible with it, that you're not going to poke yourself or anyone else. Now you basically use this like a pen, and you can use that to scratch lines in there. Now they're the main ones that you will be using in the bag tag and some other things that you'll do here at school. Make sure you're safe with these. Don't drop them. They're very highly accurate things. You need to make sure you don't drop them and that you use them nice and safe. We've got these things here. Now these are called letter punches. It is a punch, and on it, it has letters. Hence letter punch. Okay, and so what you can do is you can grab your initials there, make sure it's on a nice firm surface. I'm going to start off with the M. So nice firm, and it can put your initials on there. Okay, it takes a long time to get out, so you've got to make sure you put it in an area that you're not going to keep, an area that you're going to cut out or file off or something like that, because you don't want that in your final product. One of the really important tools that you use is right here. This is a hacksaw. Now depending on how you use this will depend on whether you love it or hate it. There are a few techniques that you can use with this hacksaw. The first one is, when you get it off the shelf, make sure the blade is nice and firm. Okay, the second thing is, don't run your hand along, but check all those thousands of teeth. Make sure there's no big dings in it, it's not missing a lot of teeth. Otherwise, when you go to use it, it'll get stuck and it won't cut very well. So, check that. When you're using it, hands on the grip, hand on the grip. Okay, nice fluid motion using all of the blade. So there's many techniques that you need to be using in the metalwork room. Our priority is safety. You need to make sure that your bench is nice and clear. Clean your bench, sweep it. Don't sweep it with your hand, use a brush, because all these little tiny filings are really sharp. I don't want you to cut your hand. And hopefully you will come up with a nice product, something like this, or your bag tag, using your tools safely, carefully, and the best of your ability will help you come away with a nice product, something that you can be proud of, and something that your friends and family can be proud of too. Thanks guys for watching this video. We've gone through and we've had a look at some of the tools and the techniques to use those tools to get the best quality out of your project. Making sure you're always safe in these rooms, using a tool safe. If there is something broken or something that is not right, make sure that you come and tell me. I'm more than happy to replace that. Accidents happen. So make sure you've written down all those notes on all the names of the tools and the machines that we've used. Write down those notes. But thanks for joining me today. See you in the classroom. So this is what you need here. This is a hacksaw, still a hacksaw.